chart a course through the region or in its due.
There is a song made popular by Bethel. Can you guess what it is, or do you know what it is? And we are going to sing about the goodness of God. Marvet, you know that song? You better come and stand up side of me. I love you, Lord, for your mercies never failed me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God.
I shepherd, I shall not want. He make me to lie down in green pastures, be beside the still waters, doth my soul, in the paths of righteousness, his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Prepares the table before me in the presence of my enemies. Head withal, my cup surely shall follow, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. There are several interpretations of this psalm, and if you go to anywhere, you'll see for every verse there's an interpretation or likeness. But I want to talk about the three ways that we can divide this psalm and the three things that comes out of this psalm clearly. And those three things will be God's provision, God's protection, and God's peace. God's provision, God's protection, and God's peace. And if you think of God's protection, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. What other protection do you want? You got in the plane, the ones that traveled, and you came here. When you got in, you said anything? Okay, I'm sure you asked for God's protection. When you left your house, and maybe if you were a single woman like I am, did you ask for any protection? I did. I said, Lord, cover this house for me all around until I return. And we have God's protection with us every day. And then we look at God's provision. When you say God's provision, he says, I prepare a table before you in what? In the presence of my enemies. He provides for you. He provides for us. Everybody came here. Somebody might have to pay for it with a credit card later, but it was provided. God provided it for us. And he provides for us. And he provides for us and also protects us even with our enemies. He protects us and he provides for us. And finally, because of time, the last one is he gives us peace. He makes us to lie down in green pastures. He gives us a peace. I don't know about you, but I live alone, and sometimes I hear gunshots. And I say to the Lord, you said in your word that you will give your children, what kind of sleep? Sweet sleep. And I close my eyes and I go to sleep, and I sleep. You can come in and move the house, and I still sleep in. He gives us peace. So today, as we go through today, remember that he provides for us, he protects us, and he gives us peace.
We are called to be like soldiers, ever ready. The pleasant task is mine to introduce to you someone who will bring the charge. That person is very special to those of us who know her, she having been instrumental in helping to bring us to the stage in life that we are. If you would see Professor Hodlin's bio, it's like 2.5 pages of bulleted items. I'm asking you, Professor Hodlin, to allow me not to give that long bio, but to instruct you who are seated here before me. Her bio is already in the chat and on our Facebook page. But I went to AI, and this is what he said about her. Professor Hodlin is, why put this part first though? He said a wife of 54 years. Professor Emerita too, Geraldine, B. Hodlin, what's the B for? Is a distinguished Jamaican scholar with degrees in home economics and community studies from Centennial College, Ryerson Polytechnic Institute, and the University of Minnesota. She has held various academic and leadership roles, including Dean at the University of Technology, Jamaica, and President of the IFHE, the International Federation for Home Economics. She has received numerous awards for her contributions to education, including the Order of Distinction from the Jamaican government. She is also a mother, a grandmother, a mentor, and motivational speaker with extensive international experience. Does that sound like you, Madame? I therefore invite you to give the charge for 23.5 minutes maximum. 23 minutes. The longer you take the come, I'm going to shorten the time.
Thank you. My friend Audrey warned me not to come and give a full-length speech. And when I reviewed what I had written down last night, I said, I can't give this speech. She's going to ring the bell on me, and you have to drag me away from this podium. So good morning, everyone. When somebody asks you to give a charge to a group like this, from different places, with different practices, wherever you are, whatever you do, it's difficult to capture the essence of a single theme so that you can walk away feeling energized with something to think about and to talk about. But I'm going to try. The topic that I intended to present a paper on is legacy, sacrifice, and gratitude. And that paper is going to be corrected for grammar and spelling errors and handed to the journal or perhaps the magazine for you all to read it. But I just want to talk about a couple of things that I really would like you to think about as you leave here. I start with a story. I was walking in Half Tree, uptown Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, and heard a man muttering behind me. And you know, you're not quite sure when people are talking behind you, they're talking to you or they're talking at you. So I turned around and looked at the man, and he was staring at me with a big smile. And he said, "Thank you." Me? Yes. He says, "Thank you." I said, "What for?" And he smiled and he said, "You're going to think this is funny, but it's not." He says, "I'm thanking you because my wife has taken your course at UTEC." I said, "I teach many courses." "Which one did she take?" And he said, "You know the one." And I don't have to say anymore because some of you in here know what that course is. And I said, okay, so you're thanking me. Tell me what about it? He says, you told your class that whenever you're finished a lecture, they have to take careful notes, by the way, and they have to take the notes home and share it with their spouse or their partner. And sometimes the notes are about their children. They must take the notes, simplify it, and speak to their children about what we talk about in class. And I said, okay. Pretty safe because they could write an exam on that and the university would lock me up. So what's going on? He said, ma'am, when my wife and I talked about certain topics that we never ever spoke about, it changed my life. It changed my marriage. It changed the way my wife and I relate as a couple and the way we talk to our children. At that time, I didn't even know what the word legacy meant. But the more I meet my students, the more I meet the families of my students, the more I reflect on my own family, that term legacy began to mean something to me. So my question to you is, in what you do, what are you leaving behind when you either, like me, retire or you move on to something else? Because you know the nature of home economics. It's not about an individual. It's not about a thing. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. It's a culture-driven profession. And we do what we do because we want to help people to see things in a particular light that will help them think perhaps differently or stronger or more about the things they do every day to improve the quality of their lives. What is it you think in what you're doing now is going to cause that change when you exit this profession? Think about it. I'm retired for 10 years now this year. As I said to my friend Janine in a session, I have taken home economics to church. And I expand that word church because it's about community. Many things that we take for granted that people know in our communities, they don't know it. And that's why when we see certain things happen, some of us, instead of stepping up and say, hold on there, let me see if I can help you sort this out, you step back and you criticize and say, look what she do, look what he do. Let us say the incident of woman abuse, female abuse. It was a policewoman who taught me because I advocated for a seminar for our church women about female abuse. And the policewoman in her presentation said, if you haven't seen a sister for 1 week, 2 weeks, the next time you see her, don't just ask her, walk on and walk off. That woman may not have come to church because she had scars on her face. She must have been crying. She may be the subject of abuse, and you didn't pay attention because you don't understand that what you take for granted in protecting yourself, she's not armed with those skills. And if you say, hi, you've been around for a while, and how you doing? What's happening? If you see, but when you're talking to her, look at her. Don't look away. Because if you look, you might be see her hiding her head, or she fixing her hair. Because she doesn't want you to see what is happening to her. And I became sensitized to that from a presentation by a woman called Monica Barnes from this country, who went to Malta and gave a speech about abuse. And when the language she used, you're going to have to pardon me now, about abuse that comes in front of her in a courtroom, that made all of us in the room, filled with IFHE people, filled with other people. It was a UN-sponsored program that we went to. She said when women come to her, they come and the accuser, the accusation that they come with, they say, the men don't always come with knives or guns or sticks. Some of them come with their penises. There was a what? Think about the people you sit beside at church, the ones you meet in the supermarket who you know, your own sisters and brothers at home who don't talk about certain things. If you are concerned about the welfare of women and families, you will help to change the way we treat our children. Help them to understand that punishment and discipline are two different concepts. One is that you lift up your hand. It was a psychologist that said, pretend you're a little girl, and an adult raises his hand and slap you. Look how that person looks like a giant. You imagine a little child who can't fight back, and an adult parent picks up a machete to slap a child. That's discipline? What do you mean you have to discipline our children? You have to kill them to discipline them? There's a difference between discipline and punishment. When you discipline somebody, you bring them to you. You show empathy. You help them to understand what it is that they did wrong and why it's wrong, and why you're there to help them to get it right. Because some of the time when you think they know how to get it right, they don't know. You didn't tell them, the neighbor didn't tell them. What they hear out there is how to be. I'm saying this to say, your legacy. Sometimes we get offended when somebody says, boy, I'm going to come and get some of your food you cook. Yeah, take that. Because you can cook. But maybe that man is saying that because he's not had a good meal all his life. Think about that. I'm not saying we have the answer to it. I'm just saying that our legacy is that which we know. We were trained to deliver things to our families, to our communities, that we are able to do well. And don't hug up yourself with it. Loosen it up. You'll be surprised to know that when you begin to talk honestly about what you know, what you can do to people, with people, how all of a sudden you become their best friends. According to my grandson, Grandma, you're my bestest friend. Because you help them to appreciate something they never realized before. There's a whole list of things that I could talk about that. But this is what I really, because I see it so often. The other thing I want you to remember, some of us get out of the negativeness as children by accident. We pass the common entrance. We got to the high school that moved us away from the community. And some of us never look back. Sometimes when you see the friends you've left behind, you're afraid. Because things have not turned out so well for them. Because there was nobody to help them. You weren't there to be their mentor. And sometimes it's not too late to say, well, what are you doing? I know, of course, that heart is giving in that you could take. Come talk to me. Let me help you get in. Reach out, reach down, pull somebody up, and help them move forward. Don't be worried about if they're going to do better than you. Let them. That's what you're there for. All of you are doing better than me in many ways. And I've taught so many of you. But that is the joy. That's what you celebrate. That's what you celebrate. So I'm saying the legacy. And there are many things, I have many things in this paper that I will share with you in writing. But those things kind of hit me because in the recent years, I've seen many of my close friends pass, parents, mothers, and there's so many regrets. And you know where you hear the regrets? At the funerals. Everybody giving, stories about this one and that one, and many of them never talk about what they did to help change some of the things that made the people not do right. Or we celebrate it, but it's empty. It's empty. So I'm saying to you, do not let your profession become an element of things to boast about. Let it be an element of something you use to help other people to grow. Okay? Let it be that. So So the last, I'm going to not stay very long, Audrey. I'm going to say one of the things that we also ignore is how to say thank you. It's called gratitude. You stand on somebody's shoulders. I stood on my mother's shoulders. And when I got my OD, where she lives in Veer and where I live in Kingston, I said to my family, we're going to see Mama. She buried. And I took that medallion and all the things they gave me, and I put it on her grave, and I said, Mama, look what they gave me. Say thank you. Even in death, say thank you. Say thank you to the person who helped you pay your tuition fee. The person who gave you a ride to school. The person who said, boy, you look hungry, come help me eat this lunch. Your students are in your class. Some of them are very hungry, that's why they're so mischievous. Have you looked at them to see if they had lunch today? I'm saying, let us say, make our homework not be a thing for an association meeting. You did plentiful research here. Now put that research to work. Do more research. Work with more groups of people. And let the world know that home economics is a people-building profession. And find your own unique ways to show that off. And then when you do, write it down and share it. Let us all know what you're doing. Put it in the journal. They're not teaching you, or she has taught you already how to write for journals. Take good notes. Call somebody and say, could you read this for me and tell me if it's ready for publication? Call somebody to help mentor you on your papers, because that is how you're going to go. Knowledge is not a thing for privacy. If it's a private thing, then go lock up yourself in your room and you read all the books. Okay? Miss Audrey? I do. I was trying my best not to make Audrey ring the bell, because she promised to ring the bell. But I said to you, one of the things I wanted to say to you is that what I'm saying to you is not going to happen overnight. And you're going to have to change. You're going to have to change as of this moment. You have to say, how am I going to open up to people? You are going to have to transform yourselves before you can transform somebody else. If you don't know how to talk about the subject matter, don't raise it. Do not tell people that you know and you don't know. Don't confuse them. Find a colleague who can help you. Find a book, a simple book. You know how many people in church, the reason why they come to the church and only sing when certain songs are sung? They can't read the hymn book. They know the tune and they hum it. Okay? My older grandson, who is in third form at high school now, when he was a little boy, and I said, did you go to church? He said, yes, because I was away. And I said, did you sing? Yes, Grandma, but some of the songs I didn't know, so I hum it. And I said, that's a good boy. In time, you will know the song. You need to become the help. They need to see you as a help person. And you have to do that by relaxing yourself. Don't force in people's business, but relax yourself to receive them when they come to you. When they come to you, don't say, give them a few minutes, have a smile. Arrange to meet them later in a quiet, safe place. Listen to them. That's part of the thing that many of us don't do. We're so busy telling that we're not listening. We're not even responding to what they're talking to us about, because we're telling our story. We have to be patient. We have to be listening. We have to guide people. We have to become the nurturer. And that's not a big job. I'm telling you, it's a nice, gentle job. It feels good when somebody walks away from you and says, I didn't think of that before, but now I'm going to do it. There's a whole difference in your feeling than when you say you have to do this and you have to do that, and they don't even understand what they have to do. My husband, Bo, is always the best maker of soup. And he tells everybody, you know, she teaches home economics, and I taught her teachers how to make callaloo soup. And I said, oh, for heaven's sakes. But the thing is, once he's learned to do something, it becomes the thing he used to sell me. And if he sells me, he's also selling himself. And that's all I'm saying. When you let people know you can help them, you get raised higher on the ladder of their lives. You become they send people to you. One of you students send your daughter to me for something at UTech, and I said no. Whatever it was, I said no. Because I didn't think it was right. And the girl wouldn't leave. She would not leave my office. And I went out and I came back and I said, what are you still doing here? She said, Mommy says, you will say no in the first instance. And you will say no 10 times. But she's not to leave. And she's to cry a little. Because you are soft that way. You will change your mind. And I did. Not because what her mother said. I said, who is your mother? I'm going to go back and change her grade. Eh? But anyway, I'm saying that a people person is not somebody who is isolated and locked away. If you have an office, don't keep the office door locked. Open it. Have an office time for students. And be there. Don't let them come and you're not there. Have a time for their parents, especially the ones who are giving problems. Have a time for their parents. And tell the parents that you don't understand what is going on. They must tell you what kind of help they want from you rather than tell them what they must do. You don't know her circumstances. She may be having difficulties and there's nobody to help her and she's trying to put food on the table and this kid is misbehaving and coming in late, not help. Hello, it gives you a reason to talk to the child in a way that they can go home and do things differently and make that home a more peaceful, productive, helpful space. Last thing, taking this last one, husbands. Husbands are a special thing. We talk about 54 years of marriage. Some days I want to lick down my husband, you know that. But one of the things I've found out about husbands is that depending on who they are, sometimes you intimidate them by your knowledge. Did you know that? Sometimes you intimidate them by your position that you have. I have friends who said their husband says because they go to university and he didn't go on it, ding. And you have to be sensitive to that. It's not because he's a bad man. He doesn't understand. You have to listen, hear what he has to say, and find a way to make him feel comfortable. If he likes to cook, say, oh, I can help you cook, but I wash the dishes. Don't take over the cooking and tell him to wash the dishes. He wants to cook. Let him cook. But keep an eye on him. Too much pepper there. Take a bit more salt. And when he's finished and he spreads the table, he said, you did a good job on the soup. The next thing you know, you start making soup at your house. He's the new soup maker. But what does it do? You give him a reason to feel proud that he's with you. You've taught him something. You've learned from him. That is your legacy. And you'll be surprised. One day you'll hear him telling his children what you have taught him. And you said to yourself, boy, he was really listening. So don't beat him down because he didn't get it right. Legacy, gratitude, and pass it on. CAHE has scholarship opportunities for all our youngsters if they apply for it. It will be getting less and less if they don't build that support. Contribute something to that. Contribute something to your world education by preparing for the next conference. It doesn't matter where it's kept. So you can travel to Jamaica or wherever it is going to be, or you can go to the IFHE conference in New Zealand. If you want to see what the world is doing, you have to put your hand in your pocket. Nobody's going to pay for you to learn about the world. They're paying for you to go to school in Jamaica or Barbados or whatever. Be your own educator. When you pass a certain age, own your growth. Own it. Don't say the school don't pay for you, so you now go. Who do you think is losing? You or the school? There you go. Pay for conferences for IFHE starts 4 years' time from one to the next. Use the end of the last conference to start saving. You may not have all the money, but people will help you. They see you helping yourself. Expose yourself to knowledge, whether it's through reading, through research, by visiting, by sharing other institutions. One of the first programs I brought to UTech was an exchange program. We had it with Iowa State. And out of that came an experience. It built a group of students that I just love. Because when they come with the ideas in class, others had not heard about it, I say, explain and tell them where you saw it. And how we can adapt it here. Take ideas that work for you. And the last thing, and I'm done, the AI lady, please make her culturally specific. Nobody looks like that in your class. Use that to win them over, win the other teachers in the school over, and win their parents. If not, it looks like what we saw when the British owned our curriculum, and the only words on the examination paper were British terms. Change that. Please to fix it, and fix it quickly. Because we like the idea that you're advancing and you're adapting new technology, and I like the theme of the conference. But do not leave here with it being visually irrelevant. Please. All right? Thank you. I hope you have a good day.
Today, history has been created. Y'all, the Jamaicans afraid to say yes? Today, history has been created. She left us with a charge and with 2 minutes to go. I'm proud of her. Professor Hodlin taught me the course that she's probably even afraid to, one of the courses she taught me. She is now who she described me to be almost 40 years ago. She taught human sexuality, and since she was bold enough to use the P word, I'm going to give you, in her 2 minutes that she left, I'm going to give you an O story, the O word. So we had a colleague who's now deceased, she died last year, who had been married then for almost 25 years, had 2 children, and my lady there is teaching human sexuality. That was the name of the course. By the way, it's the only course I ever got a B+ in because she said I was a prude. So she is saying, in every good coital action, there should be an O. And she called the word. And y'all know what she was talking about? Well, at least some church ladies in front know. That lady, Michelle, you know who that was. She was a brethren. Michelle Guy, not in here. Anita, she was a brethren. And the lady said, what is that? And we had some males in the class who could not stop laughing. Class broke up. My lady said, when you go home, tell your husband that you need to have an orgasm. She came back the next year, and the guys, Haldane and them, said, you get that thing? And all she was doing, Shirley, God rest the dead, all she was doing is smiling. So I don't know if she got it, because she never answered. And she gave me a B+. She said I was a prude because I didn't like to say certain words. Kezian, I saw you come in. You have the honors of offering appreciation to Professor Hodlin. I think she deserves another round of applause for a very strong charge, as well as, give it to her, a very strong charge. Oh, she got a standing ovation. She only got a 2 standing ovation. Professor Hodlin.
Good morning, everyone. Professor Hodlin, On behalf of the Caribbean Association of Home Economics and by extension, Trinidad and Tobago Home Economics Association, please accept this token of appreciation for the insight, wisdom, challenges, and charges you bestowed upon us. And I came in late. You told us to be self-reflective, be resourceful, make time for everyone, especially our students, be a good listener in work and at home, have compassion, have empathy, gratitude, and by all means, be our own growth maker. Move forward. And to value and you made a valuable contribution to and given CAHE. So on behalf of please accept this. Thank you.
Doesn't she look lovely? Thank you very much, Kesian. And what's the name of the lady who helped her up? Did you meet somebody that you didn't know before? This is Tasha Macano Batiste. Thank you very much. And now we're going to just lighten up things a bit. And the boss lady is here. They call me boss lady. That's the boss lady is there. And she has something to say to us. Or rather, give us. Somebody will help you. Yeah, come.
Good morning, everyone. So this morning I'm here just to give some of you will benefit. We just have a little something for those of you who were so excited about this conference that you rushed and you registered early. So we are going to give out some small things to the first 15 persons who registered. However, members of the CAHE executive are excluded from this. Members of the Trinidad and Tobago Planning Committee excluded from that as well.
The early bird catches the worm.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This is the final day. These are the final words. Thank you. Thank you so very much, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being excited. Thank you for being engaging. Thank you for participating. Thank you for just thank you for being ready. For being ready for the next conference. Persons have asked me already, where is it going to be? And as Consultant Jones has said, we have not yet pinned that down. The request has been made of the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The letter went. I understand now that, pardon me? Yeah, I understand now, though, that politics is in the air, and so it will have to take a little, we'll take a little time to get there. So we are hopeful that, as Madame Jones said, it will happen. She's telling me don't say everything, but I'd like you to know that. Yes? All right. Now that you know. Prof. Hodlin spoke earlier on gratitude, and I think that that is where I will end, on gratitude. I have more than 5 minutes, Madame Jones says, but I won't take very long. I won't take very long. I may need more, because it's been a 3-year mountain climbing experience. Just this morning we had in our devotion mountain climbing. Mountain climbing is not easy, but mountain climbing is exhilarating. And when you get to the top of the mountain, there's nothing quite like it. The view from the mountain is awesome. Yes? And so I've had, along with, and I'm going to call the members of the executive to come and stand with me. Thank you. All right. So these are not all. Yes, we are not all they. But, all right. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Take your time. So I did not take the journey alone. I took the journey with a number of individuals, and some are not here right now. So it's been a journey for all of us, a journey we made together, a journey on which we pulled each other. Yes? We sometimes pulled and then some pushed. Yes? But it was, I think, a meaningful journey. A meaningful journey. It was a learning journey as well. It was a productive journey. It was a journey on which we were able to, it was a supporting journey. So all of these things happened on that journey. It was a journey in which we were able to reach out to our members. So it was a journey with a reach. And I am pleased with the journey. And I'm thankful for the journey. It was, every experience is important. Every lesson learned is for a reason. Yes, it takes you closer to that destiny. It helps you to fulfill that purpose, So I have had great support from these women here. Mrs. Norma Washington, our consultant. Mrs. Aris May Gums, Chair of the Public Relations Committee. There's Mrs. Karen Drakes, Chair of the Nominating Committee. Dr. Audrey Porter da Costa, Chair of the Research Committee. Dr. Hope Main, Second Vice President. Madam Consultant Jones, Consultant. And as you know, Mrs. Marcel is quite busy. She was the first Vice President. And Miss Hannah Hamilton, Chair of the Education Committee, she wasn't able to attend conference this year, so she's not. And there's a tack on. Look at the tack on. Mrs. Claudia Brown Wilson, Chair of the Membership Committee. Is Dr. Lola here? Or they're at the table of collection? Here they are. Dr. Lola Bennett, Treasurer. Miss Amanda Berry, Assistant Treasurer. Not yet, Miss Shelley. And this is the team that's going out. And this is Miss Marcel, First Vice President. There's someone else missing? Pardon me? IPP, Pauline Whiteman, who is not here. Miss Renita, where are you? She's not in here. But I had the strong support, ladies and gentlemen, of this team. And I'm very grateful for that. And I want to see them. I want you to see them, because what you were not able to do, you were not able to see them at the last BGM. That meeting was held online. That was when we came into office. And so you're seeing the faces now of the individuals from whom you have been hearing. So this is us. This is a team. In 1989, I started working at the University of, it was CAST. Started working at CAST, which later became the University of Technology, Jamaica. I wasn't interviewed by her, but she was the head of my department. And that person is Professor Geraldine Hodlin. She was Mrs. Hodlin at the time, so I went with her through Mrs. Hodlin, and then she became Dr. Hodlin, and now she's Professor Hodlin, changing. It's constant, yes? But she was the individual who brought me into CAHE. And I don't think, Prof, that when you invited me, did you invite me or did you just say you need to be a part of this? When she simply said, starting this research committee, and I'd like you to serve on the research committee. And so that's how I got in, yeah, through her invitation. So she says, be a part of this committee. And then later, you're going to be the associate editor on this committee of the journal, which was introduced. And I later became chair of the research committee. I was sharing, I think I shared with you yesterday that my dissertation came out of my work on the research committee. But I'd like for you to come down, Prof, because I want to say thanks. I think we, in church we'd say there's confirmation. There's something that you've thought of doing, and then there's something that you think of doing, and then you hear it coming out over and over, and you say, confirmation. So, Prof, thank you so much. So, I want her to have a little token. I want her to have a little token of my gratitude, because I worked at UTech for 33 years, taught there for 33 years. And as I said, she wasn't on my interview team. But Prof. Hodlin started out sending me to the conference in Food for Peace conference, Cuba. Costa Rica, way before Cuba. And then Puerto Rico for IFHE. And then there was an IFHE happening in Cuba. And I didn't want to travel. And then she said, Leonie, you're a Christian. You say you're a woman of God. You must trust God. Yeah? And so she pulled me to trust God. Yes, she pulled me to trust God. And out of the Cuba trip came a Rome trip. There you go. And so these things happened. And so I thought this, before we came, that I would want to say thank you in this forum. This is where I don't think none of us knew that I would have gotten to this point to be the president of CAHE. So from the invitation to serve as the chair on the committee has come this opportunity to lead the organization with support, and I'm grateful. It all started with you. Oh. And so I ordered this small plaque, and then I got it boxed like this. I'm like, wow, this is so beautiful. Yes? So it's very simple. It's very simple. It says, Professor Jerry Hodlin, real home economist and mentor extraordinaire. From Leonie Clark, CAHE President, 2022 to 2025. Thank you so much.
For everyone, we will work with you to build a stronger avenue